Hello all, this is Stationery Stream here today with Wishlist Wanderings. This is where I migrate my previous wish lists into a new list, just basically to see any evolution between my preferences over the period of time. Since this is my first time showing you my wish list, I think I should go back to when I first started my adventure into fountain pens and this hobby to show how my wish list has evolved over the past year. Prior to having a formal wish list, most of my wish list items were just journal entries fantasizing about a certain pen or a certain ink. And then I was thinking as I went through them all, I should probably keep them all in one place. At the time, I was still trying to do fancy bullet journaling, but didn't have the right paper to work with fountain pens. So this is my first iteration of the wish list. It looks like it was done on the 1st of November, and I think it was in preparation for my very, very first fountain pen day, because I got into fountain pens I think August of 2021 and didn't really get into it properly until about September, and I got really excited for fountain pen day. For example, on my cheap pens and work accessories, I've got like the Faber-Castell school pen, the Pilot Cocooner when clear, because at the time I just had the Pilot MR3, the Pilot converter, the Lamy converter, because I was thinking you can't have a fountain pen experience without having a converter. Funnily enough, now that I've got converters, I don't use them. I saw this on the local Officeworks website and just fell in love. It is the Staedtler Tripless Metal Rose Fountain Pen, and it was like an all-metal pen with a rose gold colour. It was right in my aesthetic, and it was actually right in my budget as well at $40. But I was waiting for time to actually go down to the office store and never got around to it. And then I got a few more fountain pens, and it's since fallen to the wayside, and now it's no longer in production. So I lost my chance for that one. The Shark pen, just because it was spoken about a lot on Goulet pens, which is where I got most of my fountain pen 101 information. Likewise with the Platinum Preppy and the Moon Man, because it was a demonstrator, and I was pretty in love with demonstrators at the time as well, because I liked seeing how much ink was left in the pen. Likewise with the Wingsung 699, but I was too scared to buy online at the eBay or AliExpress or Amazon type stores. I was wanting to go to a big box store where I had the opportunity to return the pen and get a replacement easily if something went wrong. So I wasn't in the space of experimenting with online stores at this stage. Grail pens was the TWSBI Eco in rose gold and the Ferris wheel brush pen. And if I pull out my other wish list, which evolved from this one, you can see it's just fully Ferris wheel press inks. I just fell in love. I did price comparisons. I was trying to find one that would be worth it. And at the time, like most newbie fountain pen enthusiasts, we think bargain for money, right? So I was thinking I want an 85ml bottle because it would be less cents per mil. It was still expensive, and I think it was way out of my budget at the time because it was like $100. I was trying to find which ones that I liked the most, and that was my wish list in terms of Ferris wheel press inks. And then it kind of went over into more pens. If we compare it to my last wish list, so this is the last wish list compared to this one. So the Ferris wheel press brush pen is still on there, and I think it will remain on there for a while. I've recently revised this wish list to my newest one, which I'm going to revise again, because I want to combine it with my online wish list in the same place. I've called this Wishlist Wanderings because I'm curious to see how things change over time. I've done this over a period of 2 years, and I would like to revisit it again prior to the next fountain pen day, which is when I think I will next make a purchase in my fountain pen hobby. So now we've moved on to transcribing my wish list, comparing it from my previous one and moving it forward, bullet journal style. I have added on the Franklin Christoph, even though I don't know the model or nib name, because I want it there as a reminder for me to check the details next time I go to a fountain pen meet. Moving on to the Leonardo, I put that there just because it's one of my dream pens. Ferris wheel brush pen still remains on the list, can never get away from that one. There's a few demonstrator pens on there because that's still my obsession, and I still have the Jinhao 993 sets as well as a 992 and an 82 because I like duplication. It looks really nice in a set by itself. The other notable pens on this list include the Pelikan M200. If I hadn't gone to a fountain pen meet, I would not know about this pen and it wouldn't be on my list, so it can be a dangerous place to be. There's a lot of consideration going on with moving my pens across and the inks across from one wish list to another, and I do recommend going through your list a few times a year just to see how your preferences change over time. And it is a way of limiting how much you spend on the hobby, because you find that things change and your preferences change over time. So it's really prevented me making impulse purchases because I've become more aware of what I actually like in a pen and how things change. So I've managed to keep my collection relatively, I wouldn't call it small, but I say decent sized and controlled. So this is my general wish list for March of 2023. I look forward to revisiting this list again in, I'd say, October of 2023, just in preparation for Fountain Pen Day. So I look forward to having a video around then. Thank you for joining me on my wishlist wanderings. Please join again next time, where we chat about my fountain pens and stationery on Stationery Stream.